kids, it's Mark Miller here.
Hello.
And I got my son Campbell over there with us as well. Campbell, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, you okay?
Yeah.
Well, kind of doing good. What did you just discover moments ago?
So here, in my Unity game, all of the projects in the
In the scene?
in the hierarchy,
Yeah.
every object is gone.
Every
It's just
object
not
is gone.
there. But
Well,
all of the scripts are still here.
yeah, the materials are there.
Yeah.
It's as if we haven't quite figured out what we're supposed to do to save the game.
I think what we think is that it is it's a problem that it created a new scene or something like that. So now we're on a different scene in Unity. So now we're trying to figure out how to get back to our previous scene.
That's what we think maybe. But when we double-clicked on scenes, Surly, by the way, says hello.
It
Hello,
only
Surly
says
Deb.
one scene. Hello.
Surly Deb is in the house.
Surly Dev is in the house. Everyone to the lifeboats. Me first, says Mr. Announcer Bot. Last time it says, everyone grab some cup of tea and enjoy the show. Thanks, Lassimat. Thanks so much. We will do that. We'll do that if we like tea. Pouring into the cup of tea. Lassimat.
Hello, Lassimat. Okay.
So, and the thing that was interesting is we just saw this before you restarted your machine. Everything
Yeah.
was there, right?
Everything was here.
All right. So maybe we're like, maybe there's a save thing that's not actually happening. It seems like this is this is certainly a problem we've seen 3 times now on Campbell's machine for sure.
Yes, but one of the times, what happened was, everything was gone. Like, everything, including the scripts and materials. Wait, no. What happened twice was that, I just closed the window without saving, and everything that, like, we had dragged, so, like, every script wasn't assigned to anything, all of the materials weren't assigned to anything, and all of the numbers were 0. So
we got a reset of the properties there, right there.
yeah.
Last man says, Campbell, try opening the sample scene from your scenes folder. Yeah, we just tried doing that. We thought we did that at least. Open up, so double click on that.
Open.
Sample scene. Yeah, it doesn't look any different. It doesn't have the objects. So, all right, so there's a little bit rebuilding that we're going to have to do over there, I think.
A lot of rebuilding.
We're going to have to I thought we had also saved, shut down, and restarted already to prove that the saving was now working. Do you
Yeah, it
recall
was.
that? So it's almost as if we have overwritten it with something. Last man says, weird, never heard of something like that. So yeah, we've seen it about twice now, at least on Campbell's machine, where we thought we're saving and realized this is Campbell's new to like desktop coding, and this idea of saving is kind of a new thing he's wrapping his head around. And so it could be something happening where there's something being missed there. Anyway,
I remember before I restarted, I looked up here and I was like, okay, Control S, because it wasn't saved, and then I saved it, and then I restarted and it's
yeah.
there.
All right. Well, Campbell's gonna either user error or it's just Campbell's machine not being up to par. Yeah, I was thinking about that too last Matt. That might be part of the problem. The good news is on that is the parts are coming in. They're actually assembling themselves almost on the in the studio floor here, and Campbell will have a new machine probably, I think, by next show. What format are the project files saved to disk in? Some kind of XML or text format? You know, I don't know the answer to that question. Let's switch over to my machine here for a second and see if we can figure that out. So I'm now just noticing this as sample scene here. So that's my sample scene right there. Interesting. What's this? Can I rename that? Guess I have to rename it down here.
Yeah, you do.
I'm going to rename my sample scene to like my first scene.
And we had it so that
You want to reload the scenes. I'm going to say reload. Like that.
Uh-oh. Oh wait, no. It was just closed.
Yeah, it's closed. Little bit worried. All right, so let's work on my machine for today a little bit. I think that's what our backup is. And if you want, Campbell, you can drop a few things down. To create like a game service or something like that. There's also a chance, though. Actually, let's try this. Let's do this. File save as. I want to see where it's going out here. First KidzCode project scenes. I think I can zip this up and give this to you.
Wait, I might be able to. I saved it. I might be able to zip it up and put it back in my project. I just need to find it.
Saying this might be the best time to introduce source code repositories. I was going to talk about that later, but I think you're right. I think what I'm going to do is, I think I will talk about it later, but I'm going to call back to this episode to talk about ways that we can prevent this kind of loss from ever happening again. First KidzCode project is right here. Let me
Probably.
let me zip it up. And is it zipped? Apparently not, or is it? I can't quite tell. I don't even know what's going on in this folder. Let me open in a new window. It seems like this is doing this weird kind of thing here, not letting me see the files I wanted to see. There's the one I wanted right there. Let me go grab my Skype window and drag this over to Skype window to you, Campbell. And I'm sending that to you. It's about 17 megabytes. So it shouldn't take too long to get to you. Do you know how to, you've probably never worked with the contents of a zip file before, is my guess.
No.
Okay. So when you are ready, when you see the file that I've sent you in Skype,
I don't see it. Oh, yeah, I see it.
download that file, save
Okay.
that file,
Downloading.
and once you have that, we're gonna unzip that into a location. And you'll be able to open it up, and you should have the same project as what I have.
Okay.
And then
Will we be able to edit it together? Like if I edit it, you will be able
no,
to
it'll be two
see
different
those
copies.
changes? Okay.
So whatever changes you make will be independent of mine. But it's kind of interesting. So while we do that, we're going to do a little segment we call...
What happened last time?
Well, last time we were talking about loops, and we were talking about while loops. Do you remember that, Campbell?
Yeah, I remember.
Let me go bring up the killer while loop we built is this one right here. So it was, let me just zoom in here so it's nice and big. We set a variable called numBlocks drop to 0. And then we had a while loop that said, hey, while that variable is less than the number of blocks I want to drop, then we're going to increment that same variable. So I'm just using CodeRush to tab to where the variable is used, right? So numBlocks drop starts at 0, then we drop a block, and then we drop it, and by instantiating a new block based on our prototype, so we create a new block there, and then we change its position, and one of the key pieces is the position is we say, hey, make it the player position's y plus 2 plus the number of blocks we've dropped so far. And what that did is it created a vertical stack for us. So when I ran the game, on one other thing, this is really important too. We incremented number of blocks to drop every time we dropped a stack. And what that meant is each time we dropped another stack, it was one more block higher than it was before. So yeah, let's go ahead and run it, and you can see that part going. And there's my jump, and there's 2 blocks,
3 blocks.
and there's 3 blocks,
4 blocks.
4 blocks,
5 blocks.
We also
6 blocks.
implemented this kind of crazy turning control system, which is a little crazy, but I kind of like it a little bit. Oh, like this. And Surly made a suggestion at the end.
Oh, yeah.
His suggestion was, what about shooting missiles out?
It's a really good suggestion.
I like
I like it.
So we're gonna do that. That's what we're gonna do today. But that's what we did. We got that thing working last time.
The thing is, when a bunch of them drop, they just like
yeah,
and go everywhere.
yeah, isn't that awesome?
So you have to like jump through them.
I love it. Yeah, no, it's really fun. And so each time the block is incrementing by 1 as we get down to the end. It's really fun. I wonder if I can turn around and not fall off the edge. Okay, I fell off the edge. All right. Cool. Do you get the file?
No, it's still downloading.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, look who's here. Campbell?
Is that Pyrocat?
Look out, Campbell! Look out! Look out! The kid saved you. Just in time. Look out, Surly Dev! It's Pyrocat. You almost got burned, Surly Dev. That's a very purple Unity. It's a tint we added using
edit preferences, colors, and then Unity tint.
Edit preferences, colors, play mode tint. That's what we did right here. It's this setting.
It was one of my show me something cools.
Yeah, so when we run, yeah. Surly Dev says fanning the flame. Uh-oh. This is the best show ever, says Sex Positive. Look out, Campbell. That's the patriarchy. Even folks like us aren't safe from them. We gotta be careful. Look out, Campbell. Gotta be careful.
Sex Positive in the house.
Sex Positive says, hide your wallet. I didn't say that. Mr. Announcer Guy said that. Mr. Announcer Guy said, Mark, hide your wallet. Sex Positive's here. All right, let me know when that file is downloaded.
Oh, I'm opening it now.
You're opening it now?
Yes.
So at this point, the open is probably going to let you explore it. We want to get the files from inside of it out to a place where you can work. And I feel like, let's do this. Mom says, Campbell knows how to destroy the patriarchy. And Last Man says, my wallet is gone. How did that happen? Let's show me your screen. Do you mind showing me your screen? And let's see if we can unzip this. Get this. Where's the? Get me to a point where I can see that file. Where is it?
It's here.
Okay, hold on. Go up one folder. Go up to downloads. Click on the word downloads above. Oh yeah, there. Either one will work. And then, all right, there. Right click on this. First KidzCode project. And choose Extract All.
Yeah.
And fine, we're going to put it in the Downloads folder, I think, for now. And it'll be there. Just go ahead and hit Extract now. And it says Show Extracted Files when complete. So this is how you unzip a zip file. All right, we'll let that work. We'll come back over to my machine. Next, I want... What am I going to talk about next? I think I'm going to talk about... I'm thinking about talking about for loops, is what I'm thinking about doing.
Oh, yeah, I saw,
Coach Jam! We're going to talk about new stuff, new code. We're going to talk about for loops right here. In fact, actually, maybe let's go through and we'll review what we know so far. We know that braces mean a code block.
Yes.
Right?
The
code goes inside those braces. Sometimes the code can be for a method, and sometimes it can be for a class. But the code goes there. Class looks like this. Those are the braces right over there. Variables and methods go inside of those braces.
Yes.
And a method can have its own braces, and code can go in those braces.
Yes. It's very Lots of braces.
Class can also look like this when it descends from some sort of parent class. We've talked about that
Normally
a little bit.
does. When we create a new script, it's the public class name, and then mono behavior in Unity at least.
Right, it's mono behavior is the ancestor class when we are working with Unity. That's the class that parents the class. Method looks like this. The way you identify a method is those parens right there after the method name. Sometimes those parens might have something inside them, but it's those parens. They tell you it's a method. Variables look like that. We've seen this before. Different ways of talking about a variable, of declaring a variable. If statements, if an expression. The expression is going to be of what type, Campbell?
It will be a bool.
It'll be a bool. The expression will always evaluate to a Boolean if it's inside of an if statement.
No matter what.
No matter what. Same thing actually with a while loop. Same thing. It's
Oh
gotta be
yeah,
true.
because it's while this is true, do this.
Right. So it's going to be a Boolean expression there and a Boolean expression for your if statements. For loops. We're going to talk about for loops now. This is the new thing. So for loops at first, I think you might step back and be like, whoa, wait, it looks like a whole bunch of stuff you're throwing at me. Right? I got a statement and an expression and another statement. Right? It looks a little bit heavier. Let's talk about each of the pieces of the for loop, though. The cool thing about the for loop is it makes things, makes it faster, easier in a single line of code to do things that are often frequently done. For example, if we look at the code here, this code right here can actually be simplified with a for loop. I can make it easier. I can get rid of this line of code and this line of code. And now my for loop has just got these two lines of code in it if I change it to a for loop. So I'll show you how to do that. Let's talk about the pieces of a for loop first. Okay? And here, by the way, there's the same rules with for loops as with if statements. If there's only one child, you don't need braces. You can make those optional if you want. And if there's more than one child, you're going to need
braces.
Braces is what you're going to need. And hold on one second. I am just looking at my featured chat on the other page. Looks like I need to re-log in over to it because I'm not seeing Surly's comment. I want to bring that up on screen. Let's do that. My dashboard, here it comes. As soon as it loads. There it is right there. Okay. Surly says, for loops are good for a determinate number of iterations. So determinate means you know in advance how many. Determinate means you can determine it. Is kind of literally what it means, right? So a determinate number of iterations. You know in advance how many you're going to do. While a while loop is good for doing something while a condition is true or false. I think that's a good distinction between the two, right? What we did in our code, if we look at our while loop, well, we know how many we want to do. It's num blocks to drop. But what we did in our code is we said, well, here's my condition that I'm going to check. And then I set this to 0 and I increment it each time. And I go through, right? So
I'm still really confused about the for loops.
That's totally okay for you to be confused right now, because being confused right now makes sense because we haven't talked about all the pieces of it yet. But what Surly is saying is giving you an overview here. If you know in advance how many times you want to do something, like think about it, when I drop the blocks, I know the first time I want to drop 1. The second time I know in advance I want to drop 2.
Yeah.
The third time I know in advance I want to do 3. If I know in advance how many times I want to do something, for loops are great. And you can do them, you can accomplish the same thing with both for loops and while loops, but while loops require more effort, more code. Does that make sense? Okay.
Yeah, it makes sense.
How are you doing on your extract?
It just finished, actually.
Just finished. Okay, cool. Try to open up this. It's in your PC downloads first KidzCode project folder. Try to open that in Unity.
Open in...
No, don't. Well, it's not that. It's the project inside it. Go ahead you can go ahead and hit open or double click it, the folder.
It doesn't...
But what I was thinking is going into Unity and opening the project from there. Okay, look. Hold on. Which is the Unity project in here?
It is this one. No, this is.
That's the SLN is the Visual Studio
No, these
one.
are all Visual Studio.
All right, do this. Go into Unity. Go into Unity and choose File Open.
Ah, wait. Wait. No, not Unity Hub.
Is there an open project? Yeah, open
Yeah,
project.
open project.
Choose open project. Aren't we excited about getting your new machine coming up soon? Where
Yeah,
things are going to move so fast.
it's gonna be amazing.
So are we waiting for a dialogue to come up? Did you
Pretty
select
sure.
open project?
I can try again.
Yeah, do it again. If this is responsive, it means that.
Oh yeah, that was.
Okay, this must be at the Unity Hub piece that comes up. Choose add.
Aha.
And now go to downloads.
Downloads.
First KidzCode project.
Select folder.
Yeah, select folder. Invalid project path. And it's just occurred to me, you know what, Campbell? This may be a dead end. Because I just upgraded.
You did?
Let's see if it works or not.
To the next version?
I
Of
upgraded the
Unity?
next version of Unity, and when I opened my file, it said, sorry, Mark, this is a one-way path, one-way upgrade. So we may be looking only at my machine today. All right.
Dang it. I
tell
had
me.
the option to, and I just clicked skip.
What'd you do? Show me again. Let's look at it one more time. Go into File, Open Project.
File. Open project.
Then choose Add. Instead of invalid folder, we might have to go one more folder deep. So Add. Double-click on that. Double-click that. Now click this one.
What one?
And now choose Select Folder. You're good. Just hit Select Folder now. Don't actually click on a
Oh.
folder. Hit the Select button, folder button. See if this likes it any better.
I think it did.
See, it says the Unity version. That's the problem. You have to install a different one.
Oh, wait. Okay. Install. Should I?
You can. It took a while on my machine this morning when I did it. Yeah, I'm going to say don't do that. Unless are you plugged into Wi-Fi right now?
Oh,
Are you
no,
plugged
I
into
can
the
plug in now.
internet? Plug in, because that'll be a lot faster, right? And then you can try the install. Let's actually do that. All right. So Campbell's going to do that. I'm going to switch it back over here. We're going to talk about for loops. Keep going on this. So there are 3 parts of a for loop. But the most important parts are here and here. I realized, Campbell, I want to show you this too. So I'm going to wait till you get that plugged in and you come back over here. All right. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'll talk a little bit about exploding blocks. Oh, and I just realized when I compressed that, Campbell, I just realized I closed down an edit box as well. I think that what I sent you may not have everything. There were a few things that were locked, files that were locked, and so they may not be inside of that. It may or may not work. Okay, so let's talk about exploding a little bit. I talked to Campbell about this previously, so it's okay if he doesn't see this while he plugs in Ethernet. You got it? Okay. So we want to explode a block. We want to basically create a missile that we shoot out to this thing. And the missile's going to go firing out and hit it. Like this. When it hits, we want this thing to explode. Let's do this. Let me...
And then we want the missile to disappear.
So let me take... all of that, put this over here for a second. So this is the idea that Campbell and I had. It looks kind of like this. The idea is that when the missile hits the block, like this, let's duplicate the slide.
We destroy. Yeah, we replace the big block with a bunch of tiny blocks.
Yeah, so it looks like this. We go from when the hit occurs, we replace the big block with a whole bunch of little blocks. And we give these little blocks a property where their gravity is 0. And well, we can give them maybe a little bit of gravity, but it's kind of fun to just watch them explode. And then we let the collision occur just naturally, right? And we let the physics engine take over. So one block looks like it breaks apart. Now, notice I've got 8 blocks here, right? It is 8 blocks. The reason I have 8 blocks is because, and well, let's note the 2 things I have. I have 8 blocks, and I'm dividing by 2. Each side by 2. Each dimension, each axis by 2.
Or more if you want a bunch of little blocks.
Well, right now I'm doing by 2.
Yes.
Right? And I have 8 blocks. There's another scenario where I could divide each axis by 3. And so let's look at what that looks like. There's a divide by 3.
Wait, no, not yet.
Whoops, did I miss something?
Yeah.
Did I lose them?
In Z dimension.
I thought I did that. Oh, maybe you're right. Maybe I didn't do that. Okay. Shoot. Lost the other one too, and my redo doesn't work here. All right. So here, drag it up. And then here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and drag that forward. All right, good. Take that whole thing, group it, and now bring it back down.
And already you have 27 tiny blocks that are exploding.
Yeah, let me just come in here. Send that move to back. I'm gonna use this to guide as a guide for a second. Why isn't this moving around? Really weird. Huh. Can I resize it? I can resize it. Okay. Let me at least resize it.
Position locked?
It's weird that I can't move it. I don't quite understand that. But anyway, there's 7. Now we've got 27 blocks. And we've divided each axis by 3. So I've got 3 across here, 3 here, 3 here. I'm sorry, 3, 3, and then 3 down, right? So I have that. So this is dividing by 1, right? We could even say that, right? Dividing each axis by 1. In other words, we have none, right? And the cool thing about this is actually a mathematical property that we're looking at here called powers. And it's the power of 3. Do you understand that? Do you see what's happening with that, Campbell? Basically, the formula for the number of blocks we're going to get, right? Can you tell me what that is?
It is
Formula to calculate the number of blocks we will have when we explode. you have a sense of what it is, Campbell?
No.
Well, let's say that this number, we call this number up here. Let's say that's x. Okay?
Yes.
So x, so what's the formula then? If I want to know, how many blocks I'm going to get at the end, will it be 1, will it be 8, or will it be 27? What's the formula that I use?
It is, oh, it's x to the power of,
X to the power of what?
x.
X to the power of x. That's an interesting idea. So let's see if that works here. 1 to the power of 1 is 1. That works. 3 to the power of 3 is 27. That works. 2 to the power of 2 is 4. It does not work here. How do I get from 2 to 8?
2 times 4. So is it x to the power of...
That part's wrong.
Huh.
Should we try one more time and take it to 4?
Sure, let's say with 4.
Let's take it to, let's create another new
Oh wait,
slide.
no, we don't have to make another slide because that's a lot of work. But
Okay, well,
we
what
just,
is it if it's 4? What's the answer?
Wait, 4 times 4. Oh, it's to the power of 3.
There you go.
Because I was making it how many blocks it would be in my head, and I was like, it's 4 times 4 times 4, and then I was like, wait a minute, that's 4 to the power of 3.
Yeah, so we can tell how many blocks we're going to get by raising it to the power. So x to the third, that's equal to x times, can I do there? Times x.
Times x.
I don't like that being so big, that asterisk being so high up. I don't like that, but it basically looks like that. That's how we can tell. And the reason it's times 3, do you know why it's times 3, Campbell? I mean, not times 3, to the power of 3?
Yeah, because there are 3 axes.
There are 3 axes. In other words, if we were looking only at
2D, then it would be x to the power of 2. Oh, yeah, because, yeah.
Let's duplicate this as well. So we were looking only at 2D space. We would get rid of these, right? And the same thing here. Things would only be in 1 dimension. Here, let's break all those up. So we get rid of all these. And then we get rid of all these. And so we just have things in 1 dimension, right? And so here the answer is going to be 9. So we've got 1 dimension, I mean 2 dimensions, x and y, right? So 9 blocks. The reason so this becomes a 2, which is just x times x. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so when we're working in 3 dimensions, so we've got to raise to the 3rd power. Okay, so what's also cool about that, if we were to like bring up a calculator and say, well, what would happen if we were to like say make it divide each axis by like say 10 blocks, right? Well, we would then say, here, let's switch to our programmer calculator here.
Ooh, that's a thing.
And, or maybe now we'll just do scientific. I thought programmer would have more stuff in it, but it doesn't. We'll go to scientific. And then we're going to say we want to cube it. So we're going to say 10 raised to
the power
Whoops.
of.
I just raised it to the 10 power. That's not what I wanted to do. One more time. 10, 3. And that's equal to 1 with 3 zeros, which means there's going to be 1,000 blocks if we start with 10. If we do it 20,
Oh my god,
I'm going to have
no.
8,000, right? If we go with 80 and we raise that to the 3, whoops, hold on a second, clear. 80 raised to the 3rd power, we're going to have
Oh my
512,000 of them. So the question is, do we really want to have 512,000 of these on screen?
No.
Can my machine handle it? Probably not.
No, it would just like your screen would explode.
Yeah,
not
the physics
block.
engine, all of that's got to do it.
It's just gonna be like.
Yeah. So what we want to do is we want to keep that number reasonable. I think is
Yes.
what we want to do. So this is kind of the algorithm I'm thinking about playing with building, is how to make this work, right? one of the things that's interesting is the calculation, the center point for each one of these. If I can kind of make this represent the center point, let's make that kind of, let's make it a brighter red and the outline be the darker red. And so if this is my center point, right, the center point for this guy right here is half the width over, half the width out, and half the width down of the block, because we're dividing by 2. And if we divide by 3, I'm pretty sure that the center point is going to be, well, in this case, because it's an odd number, we go over we take whatever the distance is and we go over, well, let's see, what is the fair way to say this? I haven't actually, I think to be fair, I figured it out for this in my head and thought it would be the same for this, but it's not quite the same. But we have to find the center point, and we have to, of this first one, and we have to kind of go across like this and build them up, right? So this is like, we can build this using while loops or for loops to do it. But
oh, wait. Oh, sorry. No, keep going.
You sure?
Yes.
Because if you say wait, I'm going to be right there and I'll wait. Are you downloading and installing the new Unity, by the way, right now?
Yeah, I am.
Also, watch the adjustments to the mic, my friend.
Oopsie,
You got to be pros here. Professionals. Okay, no worries. Let's see.
Oh, my weight was originally for for the number of blocks on each axis. We should do like 4, because then we end up with 64 blocks, and that's
4 times 4 times 4 is 64. 4 blocks. Okay, let's do it. I think that's great. Lassimat thinks it's a really good idea to test, if we're going to test the 512K blocks, we do it on my PC. I'm up for it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But we'll do it at the very end of the show because it could bring everything down to a halt. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we definitely should never do it on my machine.
So let's look at the for loop here. The important part of the for loop, there are 2 things that are important, really. The variable name is going to be here. Doesn't say statement 1. I'll show you what it really looks like. But the name of the looping variable is here. Now, for context, in our code when we did the while loop, our looping variable was this num blocks dropped. We initialized it to 0. We had an expression that said, hey, while it's less than some other thing, keep going, and we increment it. That's our call. That's called our looping variable. It's the variable that determines the loop. What do you want to say, Campbell?
Nothing. I was just saying with incrementing, it's just like...
Say that again?
I was just going to say with incrementing, it's just adding 1.
Right. This means add 1 to it each time. Thanks so much for saying that right there. Surly is saying, hey, if you're blowing up a cube where x equals 2, then 1 cube becomes 4, and you have 1 center point. If you're blowing up a cube where x equals 3, then 1 cube becomes 9, and you have 4 center points to explode from.
Oh, yeah, because... Oh, yeah!
We'll get it. It's going to take some concentration, but I think we can get it and make it work. I want to turn this into a for loop. That's what I want to do. And I'm going to put them side by side so you can see them both. Let's also bring this font size down a little bit. Right there so we can see more. So to do a for loop, if you've got CodeRush installed, Campbell, you can type in FR for loop, and then the letter I, and then hit the space bar. And it'll build the for loop for me. And we just learned, so right now, this is what we get. What do you want to say?
Can I say something really quickly? Or if you don't have CodeRush and you're trying to get this for loop really quickly, you can...
Do we switch to your machine?
Sure. I'm pretty sure this works. I'm not sure if it does. Here, wait. New line. Yeah, wait, no, down here. Blech. If you type in FOR for 4, and then double tab, it will...
Nice.
do this.
Does the
for
same
you.
thing. So a double tab, hitting tab twice.
Yes.
Right there. Excellent. That wasn't your show me something cool, was it?
No, it wasn't. It
right,
was
good.
one that I was considering. But
One you were considering, but you didn't do it. All right, great. So that does something very similar, right? In this case, though, the eye is already picked for you, right? Also, don't forget to delete those 2 extra braces it gave you for that, Campbell, in line 18 and 20.
oopsies, no.
Yeah. Surly says that's a Visual Studio snippet, and the Codrush one is much cooler, is what he
It
says.
is.
So, so let's switch back over to my machine over here. So this is the for loop here. There are 3 parts to it. This is one of the. This is statement 1. This is statement 2. This is the expression. So statement 1 is I is equal to 0. Well, I wanted to maybe I wanted to call it num blocks dropped.
Yes.
So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to hit rename on this and I'm going to just paste that in. It says there's a problem because there's already a variable up there called it. I'm going to just call it numBlocksDrop2. Or maybe B is what I'll do. Okay? So part 1 of this is this first piece here. This is executed the first time the for loop runs. What does the Codrush one do, last Matt asks? So the Codrush one does this. It's a little bit faster to bring it in. So he's typing FR and then the letter variable that you want to use. So FRI, and it gives you this. And it's the piece is selected here. So it gives you that. It's just faster to bring it out to you. Once you hit enter here, you jump inside the braces right in there. So that's what's going on there. So like, for example, I can type in FRX if I want X to be my variable that I'm iterating through. Come down here, type in FRY, for example. Come down here, type in FRZ, like that. So I get some 3-dimensional looping and iteration really quickly.
Oh, that's cool.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's the Codrush one of there. All right, so this statement here is very similar to this statement right up here. You see it?
Yes.
They're very similar statements. This is executed before the
They're
while
the
loop
same,
goes.
Kind
What?
of. Except for one is in parentheses with blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
one's in parentheses and the other's not. But they're similar. This is executed before the while loop. This is also executed before the for loop. Next, we have this check right here. NumBlocksDrop is less than NumBlocksToDrop. Well, what are we going to do? Instead of having upper bound, we're going to change it to this as the upper bound. This expression is checked at the beginning of every loop, just like this is checked at the beginning. If this is true, we go and execute this loop every time. But if it's not true, we're out of the loop and we go down here. So that's the expression that tells us how long we're going to run for. This expression right here, notice I said, look, what's important in the for loop? I said this was and this was. I didn't say this was. The reason it's not is because this is almost always just increment your iterator variable.
Yeah.
Make your iterator variable go up one more every time we go through the loop. So what this does in one line of code is it gets rid of this line right here, this line, and this line. And it kind of actually replaces this line. So that's what's going on. So now what happens is our code now becomes this. And now I can comment out all of this up here, like that. Okay? And now our code that was once went from line 28 to 34, which was 6 lines of code, goes from 36 to 40. It's 4 lines of code. So we've simplified. We've lost 2 lines of code. This piece doesn't work here because I changed the name to B. I'm going to just rename it back to that. And now we're back. Okay? That's a for loop. For loops are super powerful. And again, the most important thing is, hey, what's my variable name? What's my iterator variable? And you can find out here inside this first statement.
I'm really confused. What activates the loop?
Let's talk about this. So how does code work? When we run a program, right? What causes any line, for example, this to activate and run, right? What causes this line to run? And what it is, hold on. Yeah, last one's got a good point. I'll bring that up in a second. So how do these lines of code activate? Well, let's do this. Let's set a breakpoint here. Let's attach to Unity and let's run our game and watch this. And we can start getting a sense of how does it work? So let's run. That's a really great question. So I'm at the breakpoint. I can step over by hitting F10 or by clicking this button. Okay, so that's going to execute it. So at this point, we've got something. There's an engine that's running our code, and it knows what line of code this code that this becomes, that this compiles down to, is associated with. So it highlights it for us. It's about to run this part of the program. So there's like an engine that can execute statements, right? And it can create things and execute those. So that program is now going to execute this line of code. When I hit F10, it'll execute it. And that means it's going to calculate the difference between this and that, and it's going to put it over here in delta Z, like that.
Yeah.
And then this line up here is my if statement. And the question is, what executes this? Or another way of thinking of it, what evaluates that? Well, it's essentially the software running the program. So there's
but it's saying if this is true.
You're saying it's saying that. Are you talking about the word true showing up beneath the delta Z?
No, I'm not. I'm saying what executes that line of code is when or if this is true, the statement in between the parentheses is true. But for the for loop, what executes it? Is it just if number of blocks dropped is greater than number of blocks to drop?
No, I'll show you. Let's look at what happens here. I'm going to hit F10 here. We're going to get down in here, and now we're going to come in here. So I'm going to hit instead of hitting F10, I'm going to hit F11, and I think we're going to see each individual section as it's executing highlighted. Well, that did not happen like I was expecting it to. Nope, it didn't happen. All right, so what happens is this. So because we stepped over that, we didn't actually see what I was hoping that we would see. But here's what happens. When we get to this line, this executes first. Because the program, the code that's generated says, let's execute this line of code. And that line of code is just initializing the variable num_blocks_drop, initializing it to 0. So that goes first. Then it executes this expression right here. It evaluates it. The software that runs our program knows what to do when it sees a for loop.
But so is it basically just checking if all of those are true?
Not all of them, no. It's
Just
not.
the first
There's an
two?
order to each of these. Look at this. Look at the slide over here. This tells how long the loop is run. Let's see if I've got here. How does for loop work? Well, I thought I had this, but I don't have it in the slide. So here's what happens. The first thing it does is executes this. That's the first thing it does. Next, it checks to see if this is true. If it is, it goes down into the loop. And if it's not, it exits the loop.
Oh, so it checks. So first it sets number of blocks dropped to 0.
Just like we did up here in this commented out code. It does this first. This
Yeah.
first statement is always executed once, but only once. This statement, this expression is evaluated every time before going into the loop,
Yes.
if it's true. And if it's false, it doesn't go into the loop.
And then it also sets number of blocks dropped to less than number of blocks to drop.
Yeah, but when does it change that is the question. It changes that. It executes this at the very end. We'll see it the next time we come in. I'm going to set a breakpoint here. We'll run. We'll get to the next time we come in.
Oh, I get it now.
So here we are. We're going down. There we
So
go. We've
it's
come in. We're time to block it. Jump again.
Executing those.
Notice num_blocks_drop is 0. I'm just going to step through it, and we're going to look at the values of the different pieces as we get it here. Num_blocks_dropped is 0. Cool. So now I'm at the end. Num_blocks_drop is still 0. I'm going to hit F10. And now num_blocks_drop is still 0. I hit F10.
And then
now it's 1.
it's 1.
Okay?
And
And
then-
that also means this was executed. This was
Yes.
evaluated because, and it's still true because 1 is less than 2.
Wait a
Okay.
minute. But if it goes through that code and it says the number of blocks dropped is 0, and then it sets number of blocks dropped to less than number of blocks to drop.
Then we go in the second time.
But then number of blocks dropped is 1. But then the next time we go through, it's 0.
Yeah, no, not next time. No, because watch. This is only the next time we hit this for loop from this direction. But because we're looping here, we're only going to execute this the first time. Just like this was only the first time. Watch what happens here. Just watch the values as we go through. There's our second block. We dropped 2 blocks, right? Num blocks to drop is 2.
Okay.
Num blocks dropped is 1. But now we're about to come back up. We come up here. Now we're at 2. And
Yeah,
guess what? We jumped down here because this is now false. Num block to drop is 2. It's not less than this anymore, so we didn't go inside here.
Uh-huh.
Does that make a little more sense?
Yes.
Do you have questions on that?
No.
Okay. So, let's clear our breakpoint and see if it still runs like we're expecting it to. There's 3. And there's 4. And there's 5. I'm really loving this, by the way. This is so much
7,
fun to be able to play with this thing
8,
like this.
9.
I wonder if I can turn around and go the other way. I'm going the other way, kids. That's
You have
awesome.
a lot of momentum in the other direction, though.
Yeah. It's so cool. It's really fun. All right, I got to stop playing. And, all right, we're going to make this thing shoot is what we're going to do. All right, so we talked about the... woohoo. How's your install going, by the way? Let's go check over on your machine. Still installing? Okay. No worries. All right, so we are going to... Let's make this thing shoot now. I guess that I need to create a missile. That's what I need to do. Let's stop the game. I'm going to come in here and say 3D object. Make it a capsule.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a good missile. Let's rotate it. Did I show this last time holding down the control key?
Yeah, you did. That was your something cool.
Okay, cool.
Or
Yeah.
you might have done it only with the moving.
Yeah, I think maybe I did that, but you can also do it with rotating. It's very cool.
Oh, and Dad, if you want to, if you go to edit, if you click edit, and then I'm forgetting where, but it's somewhere. Oh,
Surly Dev's got to go drop some dinner off at his mom's house. He'll be back in about 15,
goodbye, Surly Dev.
17.5 minutes. Okay, Surly Dev.
Oh, grid and snap settings at the very bottom. If you click that.
Oh yeah, I did click it, and it showed up over here.
Oh, it did?
Yeah, seeing as the number of objects in the scenes becomes more
Yeah,
and more, it
you
might be a
can
good time to
make the
introduce the
grid
prefab
like
concept.
smaller. And then you can make it so that you can have like a wider grid so that it goes like doom, 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 doom.
Oh,
doom.
nice.
Or you can make it smaller so it just goes like doom, doom, doom.
You should put this in one of your upcoming Show Me Something Cools. Last
Okay.
Matt suggests, hey, seeing as the number of scenes, objects in the scenes becomes more and more, it might be a good time to introduce the prefab concept. I would love to introduce that, Last Matt, if I knew anything about it, but I don't, so I'm going to have to research it for next show, I think.
What
Kimball,
is-
we're going to have to learn. That's our new assignment. We have to learn the prefab concept for next show. All right, so here is my missile. I think I want to give it a good color. Let me scale it down a little bit.
Ooh, what if we did like a purple?
I want to grab, can I do,
Yeah, you can do it so that it's like that.
all right, so we'll do like something like that. That's going to be our missile. You want me to purple material?
Sure.
Okay. Create material. And we're going to get a purple.
Purple.
Kind of a twitch purple in here. Like somewhere in that space maybe. Or maybe we could do like a really kind of a brighter pink.
Okay.
I want to do it saturated, but I want it like kind of really bright as it goes out so we can see them. I'm liking that color actually right there. All right, we'll do that for now. So that is my material. Let's give it a good name. Call that the missile. Looks like Mom is out there in the chat room saying she's going to explain the prefab concept to you. You were too pretty to wrap your head around such things. I think she was talking to me. Pretty sure. All right, so let's, yeah, that's cool. All right, there's our missile, like that. If I got this facing the wrong way, oh, I totally do. Let's rotate it so it's facing the right way.
Rotate.
Is it facing the right way? It looks like it is. Okay, sweet. Okay, so now there's our missile. I'm going to call this our missile prototype. Okay, one other thing I want to do, I actually want to clean up this code right here. This instantiate, we're like giving it the player position, then we're changing the transform. I'm pretty sure there's another instantiate that takes the transform. Yeah, that takes a transform in. So what I want to do, I think I can do this. This is my transform. Well, that's my transform position. Hold on, I want it to be a position. There's a position right there. Original, and then I just need a quaternion around it. That's what I need to do. Sex Positive says, I just saw that I'm a VIP in the chat room. You are Sex Positive. Okay, so I want to take this vector 3. I think I want to create a variable for that is what I want to do. So I'm going to hit that Coder's refactoring key here to bring up the action menu, and I'm going to choose introduce local. That's going to create a new local variable, Campbell, for whatever expression I had selected. And so I'm just going to call this position, like this. Then I want to come up here, I want to put it up there, and I want to now use my position right here, and I just need to give it a quaternion, I think. And I think there's an identity right there. That's I think how it's rotated in space. So I just want to make those two changes, and I don't actually need to return the value of this anymore. So I'm kind of simplifying this a little bit. So let me see if this still works, okay? And it seems to still work, right? I've got 2 right there, and I should get 3 in the next drop. If I can stay focused, there's 3. So it still works, and they're still stacked. All right, so now I've got this easier, fast way to create something, all right? Now I want to do firing. Let's go to, I think it's in my player properties, right? There's my space is a jump. What key should be to fire off the missiles?
Maybe, I want to say enter, but.
Let me see. I'm thinking about what's easier to hit. Enter's pretty easy. I was thinking about the tab key
big.
too.
Ooh, or maybe one of the ships.
I could also do the arrow up, the shift, the control key. Let's make it be control key.
Okay.
I love it.
Oh, Dad, the new Unity has installed, but can you send me the project again, because it's been a long time and you've written a lot more code and.
Actually, I have not really. The code changes I made are only in this method right here called fixed update. See if you can open up the project. It's the one I sent you in users downloads,
Yeah,
the first KidzCode
I'm
project.
doing
See if you can do that. It's going to actually work the same, right? Because this code was doing the exact same. I was just showing how to do it with a for loop.
Oh yeah.
See if that works for you. All right, so back over to player properties. I want to check to see if input is equal to the control key. So I'm just going to say control.
Shift enter.
So control, left control. I'm going to use make it be the left control key. Then I'm going to say can fire missile is equal to true. So now I've just created this variable, can fire missile, can turn left. So I've just basically duplicated the same kind of logic we already have up here. If the input key is down for the left arrow, then that means we can turn left. And if it's down for the left control, I'm going to say we can fire a missile.
Wait, there are multiple controls?
Yes, there's a left control key and a right control key.
Oh yeah, it's right next to the right.
Yeah, and so that
Left arrow.
the left control key is pretty easy to hit. I could also make it be, oh, look at this, Campbell. Let's try this. Look at this. If I type in OR and I have CodeRush installed and I hit the space bar, CodeRush will turn that into the double pipe symbol, which is the Boolean logic OR.
Yeah.
Okay? So now what I can do is I can do this, and what do you think this if expression is saying?
Oh, it's saying if either of the controls is down, then you can fire the missile.
That's exactly correct. That's what's happening here. If the left control is down or the right control key
Yeah,
is
that's
down.
probably easier because then if you like to say,
Right? In a dangerous situation, I want to be able to fire off missiles from either hand, right? I want to be able to slam the keyboard like this.
yeah,
Okay, so let's go look at where else can turn left is being used. It's in our fixed update. So this is where we're adding forces, right? And
Yeah.
we're changing things, and this is exactly where we want to instantiate things as well for the
Yes.
missile. So we're going to say if, let me scroll it up a bit so you can see it. If we can fire missile, now we've got to fire the missile. Well, we want some code that's kind of similar to this code that's kind of right here.
yeah, then
Right?
instantiate.
It's a little bit. We definitely need an instantiate. Now our prototype is going to be
missile prototype.
missile prototype is what we're going to call it. We need to declare that.
Yes, we need to create.
That is going to be
a new.
what is it over here? What type was it? It was game object.
Yeah.
So let me just duplicate this, but I'm going to copy that to the clipboard, cut it to the clipboard rather, then come back over. I just used CodeRush so we didn't have to type in game object again, like that. So now I've got my missile prototype right there. So now I've got that. I can instantiate it based on that. My position, we've got to figure out the position of this. We need to know where the player is, but we're in player properties. So I'm pretty sure we can get to that from transform.position. So anywhere here where our code used to say player position, pretty sure we can just say that to transform. Okay, like that. And
Wait. Yeah.
and this will be transform as well. Now if we just do this,
Oh.
it's going to just drop the missile right where we are. It's not going to give it any force,
Yes.
right? Also, it's probably going to always be facing the same direction. Let's try it and just watch and see what happens. Okay? Let's see if it works. When I say works, it's kind of going to not work. We're expecting it to drop these objects out to the side. I'm tapping the control key. I'm not actually seeing anything happening coming out of the outside of us.
Wait. What just happened?
I'm tapping the control key, but I'm not seeing anything come outside of them.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Dang it. I just managed to download all of the what you sent me,
Yep.
and it's not it's not anything like what you have. It's just
Oh, really? Show
Yeah.
me. This is opening up what I sent you.
yep.
Go into scenes.
Oh.
First scene. There you go.
Yeah, okay.
Try running that. And the key was space to jump and
Yeah,
the arrow
and-
keys to turn. How does that work for you?
Works well.
Okay, cool. So I have a problem over here I just realized that I have is I'm never setting can fire missile to false. So my machine is slowing down. I think, I'm not sure, but I think that these are, the reason we're not seeing them is I think they're inside. I think they're inside of us, is what I think, but I'm not sure. I kind of want to change the view from the side a bit and see if we can see what's going on. trying to get to here. Let's try running again and see if we can see what's going on in this view. I'm tapping Control key. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything come out behind us. Let's check the console and see if we have any errors in the console log. We do. Oh, I forgot to assign the property. Do you understand that error, Campbell? Unassigned reference exception.
Yeah, because you haven't.
Missile prototype property.
Yeah, you haven't put the missile prototype into the. Whatchamacallit? Into the script, basically.
Yeah, so the player's got the missile prototype right there. I need to drag this over into here. Let's try and see if it works now. Last time it says you can look at the hierarchy. It shows all the objects. It didn't show any missiles instantiated. Okay, hold on. Let me do this. Oh, now, there we go. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh. Okay, so the missile, what's wrong with the missile, Campbell? What does
It's
it need?
facing upwards.
Okay, what else?
It's trapping us.
Why isn't the missile moving when we hit it?
Because we're not adding it. Oh, because it doesn't have the rigid body.
Is that what we need?
Yeah.
Let's see what it is. Let's see if that fixes it. Okay, let's grab our missile prototype. I'm going to say that's correct. Let's add rigid body. And uses gravity. I'm going to say maybe not. Because when we shoot it, we kind of want it to go in a straight line.
Yeah, we want it to go fawn, not.
All right, so let's try that. See if that at least, when we drop them. Yeah, that looks like that works. And sweet. All right, I love it. Maybe we should use gravity, I don't know. All right, so there's that. Now, the reason they're moving, by the way, is because we've got them in the exact same position as where we are.
Yeah.
All right, fun. Okay, and so because they have a rigid body, they have to get out of us. We can't be in the same space right there. I want to bring up last minute's suggestion right here. It says you can look at the hierarchy. It shows all the objects, and it didn't show any missiles instantiated. I want to look and understand, where is the hierarchy? Is it here? So does this change when we run? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, if you instantiate something.
Oh, there they are. That's a great tip. I love it.
I would say that's.
It's visually fun. It's super fun visually. All right, let's figure.
It did kind of knock.
What did you say?
It one of the missiles. It did kind of. It hit one of the blocks and they were knocked down a little bit.
Yeah, it did knock it down a little bit. You're right, it did. Let's see. Got some nice flowers out here. How are things going on your side? Did you try running it yet, Campbell?
Yeah.
Does it work?
Uh-huh.
Can we see that?
Yeah.
Last Cement has another great observation. It says, it also shows that you never clean up the objects you create. On your machine, it's okay. On Campbell's, it kills really quickly.
Yeah. That is true.
Remember a while back?
Didn't we write a script for that?
Yeah, we
that
did.
Said if it's behind the camera, destroy it.
Yeah, if it's behind the camera, destroy it. We wrote a script to do that a while back. We wrote some code to do that. We haven't done it for here on the show, though. All right, it looks like it's working. That's cool. Do you want to create a missile prototype, Campbell? Just like I did?
Sure.
and work on that. I'm going to, meanwhile, I am going to, I guess I want to figure out why it's coming out straight up. And I think it might be actually this. Actually, Campbell, maybe take a look at what I'm doing, because we're kind of solving an interesting problem. The question is, why is it straight up? And I think it's this quaternion identity property right here. And I think what I want to do instead is use the missile prototype's rotation, already existing rotation. No, I want to use our rotation, our transform dot rotation. So whatever direction we're facing. And then is there a way to get to the quaternion from this? What type is Euler angles? It's a vector 3. Wait, the rotation is a quaternion. It is. That's exactly what we need. All right, perfect. So let me try this, see if this works. I'm going to run that. All right. Hard to tell. It's really hard to tell the rotation of this thing because it's coming out the same place as we are. Let's have it shoot out. Let's say it's at z minus 1.3. So it'll go out behind us. 1.3 f. I think that's what we need there. Okay, let's try that. Still it's coming up straight up and down.
Huh. Oh, I think I might have an idea of what it is.
Tell me, what do you think?
Wait. Let's go to the player.
I think this is...
Never mind.
You say never mind?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm going to give you a preview of a little thing I was going to call...
Show me something cool.
I was going to save this for Show Me Something Cool, but let me show you what I'm talking about. You can create like an empty object here, right? And this empty object, you can then manipulate and put things inside of it. So for example, we could take our missile prototype and throw it inside of this, then take our empty, so our missile prototype right now has got this rotation on it, the Z, the 90, 90. The game object has no rotation on it at all, right? Which is kind of what we want. And we can call this our rotated missile, our rotated missile. And the cool thing about this is that if I were to take my prototype and I was going to say, and take its position. Where is the position in here? Let's see if I rotate this. Let me do this instead. Let me take this out of here for a second. I'm going to create a new cube. Throw it. I'm going to take the cube in space. Where are we? Here? Okay. I'm going to take this cube and I'm going to move it. Let's do this. Let's just set the values here. We're going to set this to 0, 0, and 0. Like that for that cube. Let's go get in on that. There it is right there. Okay? So there's the cube. Let's move it off to the side right there. And maybe we'll move it up a little bit. Okay? Let's take our rotated... I'll create a new empty game object so I can show you. Here's our... We're going to call this the spinner. Okay, and then I'm going to take my cube and move it inside the spinner. And now the cool thing is here, is if I come in and I do the rotation on this, what happens is it's rotating around a center point that's not the center of the cube anymore. See what I'm saying, Campbell? It's rotating around the center of where the cube was before we moved it off to the side. In other words, we come in here to the cube and we say, let's push it even further out. And then we come back to the spinner and we rotate the spinner around. See, it's making bigger circles around. So what you can do with this is you can get some very complex movement. Let me move back out so you can see it. You get some really complex movement. See, Campbell?
Yeah, but wait, how did you get there again?
All right, I'll show you. Let's back it up. So we're going to we'll create a cube. And I'm going to set its position to 0, 0, 0. Okay? Then I'm going to say, let's spin it. Right? So we know we can do this, right? It spins around the center. Right? When we do this.
Yeah. But you can make the center of it not there.
Yeah, no, here's how I do this. I come in and I right click and I say create empty. So it's an empty game object. Then I drag the cube into the empty game object. Like this.
And then you put the game object.
Instead of being 0, 0, 0, right here, I take one of these and move it off to the side, like the X. So move it like over here, right? Now I go to my game object and I spin it. And look what's happening. It spins around the center of the game object, but the cube is off to the side. Do you see what's happening? It's relative to its parent, right? So that was my show me something cool for this week. But what I want to do with the rotated missile is I want to basically take my missile prototype and put it inside it. And like this. And so what's going to happen is my rotated missile is going to have, when we apply the quaternion identity rotation, it's going to be 0, 0, 0, which means it'll be facing up. But my missile prototype inside, look at it. It's turned sideways.
Yeah.
So that means when I generate it, what does it mean when I instantiate it?
It will instantiate like this.
Sideways. That's what I think. Last Matt's going to buy some groceries. Surly Dev says, don't go, Last Matt. You're bringing up all the pertinent questions and observations. Oh, but if you don't go now, the shops are closed tomorrow and you are hungry. Last Matt says, I don't have anything to eat tomorrow otherwise. Yeah, you better go.
Can I show you my something cool?
Yeah, you want to show me your something cool, Campbell?
Show me something cool.
Okay, so I just finished making the missile, but what you can do is before running, if you click on an object, and then if you click F, it will focus. Not working. There, we'll do it with the missile. If I focus on the F key isn't working, but in theory, if you click FF, wait, it might only work while playing.
Do you have to be, does the hierarchy have to have focus or the scene?
What, on the scene, if you click the game whatever object you want, and then click FF, and then if you start playing, this should work.
In the scene, it'll follow it?
Yeah.
It did not.
Yeah. Wait, no, wait.
Is it following it or no? I want to try that.
The F key just isn't working for me.
Let me see if I can make that work.
It doesn't focus.
So I just double tap on FF and play the game?
Yeah, or it might be while you're playing. You double click F, but...
Oh, If I do it while I'm playing, it'll totally focus it.
I don't see it. I only see.
Let me show you on my screen. Look at this.
Yeah.
So whenever I hit F, it focuses that object.
Yes, and if you click FF.
FF does not work for me, but if I just keep hitting it, it does follow it a little bit. If I hold it down, it kind of follows it.
That's weird.
Well, it could be that we just upgraded new versions, both you and I did. All right, wait,
Yeah,
it's still coming out the wrong way. Oh wait, I know why. Because instead of dropping the missile prototype on, I want to drop the rotated missile on the player. So the player has got the missile prototype. I want to drop on the rotated missile and see if that works. I'm looking for these missiles to finally be coming out. Nothing's happening at all.
No, they're coming up in the hierarchy, but
I see that.
are they just like staying inside?
Now I don't see them at all.
Or are they coming up at like the beginning of the... Oh,
Is it because I
yeah,
opened
you
that up?
closed it.
Let me do the F trick here and see if I can see them. I can't.
Try double clicking it.
Oh no, these are the prototype
Oh, yeah.
blocks. Hold on. Just the prototype blocks are coming out.
Oh. No,
Oh, here it
rotated
is.
missile. Oh, they're coming up below the track? Why
Interesting.
Are they coming up below?
Okay. They're probably coming out below because of the positioning of the of this
Rotated.
relative to the other. Yeah, let's stop it a second. Stop the game. I think the problem is this. See this right here?
Yeah.
Let's change that to 0, 0, and 0. And now see if that's any better. There you go. Okay, cool. So now, and they're facing the same direction we are. Sweet.
Oh,
See it?
wait. Do we want them to do that, or do we want them to just go straight?
I want them facing the same direction. Next, I'm going to make them go the direction I'm shooting.
But I feel like or at least for me, it's really hard to align yourself.
To face it the right way because of the controls? That's okay. We can fix the controls. But I'm going to make it so they now shoot in the direction we're facing. All right? That's the last thing we're going to do to make this work. All right. So to get these to go, to shoot, we got to do what? What do we have to do to make them move, Campbell?
We have to add a force to it.
We have to add a force to it. Do you remember how we add a force? Line
Transform
64 and
add
61
force.
both are examples, by the way.
Yeah, player dot you make a new game object and then give it a name and then drag the actual game object that you want to use and drag it there. And then what you have to do is give say the name of this game object dot add force. And then you can see forward, up.
All right, so look at what I've done. I've declared a new variable called missile of type game object, and I assigned it to the result of instantiate. What do I do? What do I call on missile?
Huh? Wait, oh, missile. Wait, what?
Listen to what I'm saying. This line of code used to look like this. Look at the code I'm changing.
Yeah.
I changed it to this. Look again. It used to be this. I changed it to this. What does that mean? What did I do?
I don't know.
What is this?
It's a game object.
And what? It's a game object? Yes, it is a game object. You're right. What's it called? What is it called?
It's called a variable.
Well, it's called missile. I feel like you're sinking into the chair. You want to end the show?
No, I'm okay.
You okay? I brought this up because I wanted to show you this. Variables can look like these. Variable type, variable name equals the initial value. Game object, missile equals instantiate. The line of code used to be this. Now it's this. Can you guess what this does?
Oh yes, it's setting the missile to instantiate missile prototype.
Okay.
Position transform.
All right. So we've got a new variable that represents the missile. What do I want to do to make that missile move?
You have to missile dot add force parentheses.
Why don't I see add force in here? Hold on. What's player? Player's the rigid body. So I need to get to the rigid body of this thing.
Oh.
Can I get to it? There's no rigid body.
I guess you just have to change it from a game object to a rigid body.
Well, I'm not sure on that actually. I'm going to ask the internet. How do I get a rigid body with instantiate in Unity C#? I've been here before.
Rigid body.
Clone, it says it's a rigid body. Interesting. We can take the result of instantiate and assign it to a type that's rigid body. So let's change this from game object to rigid body.
See?
And now what's happening here though? Cannot implicitly convert it. I'm going to try. Let's see if I can do this. If that works, can't typecast it. Okay. Let me try one more thing. See if I can coerce this to work. See if I've got that. Will that work? What does this want? Got it. I see what it needs. It's actually looking for a new rigid body. I want to do it off of the prototype. So let's go back, turn this back to game object. We'll go back to where we were. So the question is, how do I get a rigid body from a game object? Let me rephrase my question. How do I get a rigid body from a game object?
It should work where if you just add the object that you want the rigid body from, if you just drag it to that place.
Well, no, that would work. I could create a property for it, but then that prototype's rigid body would be shooting around, and I want the new missile I've instantiated to be shooting around.
Wait.
I want the missile I create to move, not the prototype.
Oh.
And that, I think what your suggestion is going to do that. Look at this though. I'm going to take this line of code and copy it. Right? So I'm going to come in here to missile and say missile.getComponent rigid body add force. Let's just see if that works. We're going to add force in the Z direction. Let's maybe do let's do it. Well, let's do 100. See what happens with that. Okay? Let's see if that works. Run.
Whoa. It's shooting backwards. I think you just have to make it a -100.
Why am I building so many of these? Can't fire missile is false. I'm not sure what's going on here. I would, just in case, I want to set this to false here. Make sure it's very quickly set to false. Try that one more time. It's not
adding a force.
Doesn't seem to be adding any force to it. Nothing. All right, let's put it in front of us. Let's do this. Let's put it in front of us like by about 2. And let's add a force in the z direction. Let's make it 1,000. Okay.
Oh wait, no.
What?
It's gonna go backwards, I think.
You think it's going the wrong way?
Yeah, you might want to make it negative 1,000.
Let's save and run. Let's just try it. See what happens.
Nope. It's not moving.
Nothing's happening. I'm at 10,000 now.
Oh, you did 10,000 in...
What?
You did 10,000 in the Y direction.
I did. I want to see if we see any movement up.
No.
No?
Oh, look, new errors are coming in. There is no rigid body attached. Oh, you haven't attached.
There's no rigid body on the rotated piece up at the top. Got
Yes.
it. Okay. So I had a rigid body here, but I don't need the rigid body here. I think. Let's try removing that.
You might... Oh, I was going to say you might just want to keep it just in case.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Because now you've changed 2 things.
You're right. Let me undo. There it is. I think I can turn it off. Can I turn it off?
Normally there is a checkbox right next to it. Or you can say like, yeah, I want it right now. No,
All right, we're going to go put it up here. We're going to add a new component up here, the rigid body.
rigid body.
And help me out, Campbell. Just turn off gravity. That's all I need to do, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see if this works. Thanks for spotting those errors.
No, still not working.
But no errors, though, right?
No errors. Ugh, that's even worse. Because now we have no idea what it could be.
All right, so let's go back. I'm now thinking that maybe my show me something cool where we're using the rotate to fix the rotation may not have been the best solution to the problem. Let me move this back out. It's still got its own rigid body. I don't really need my rotated missile anymore. Let's go back to is it the player? And let's take this thing away. And let's now hook up our missile prototype to it. See if we get any better luck with this now. Even though it's necessarily facing the wrong way. I just want to see if... Oh, there it is.
Yep.
All right, so we needed that. Maybe we needed something else too. Maybe we didn't have those things. All right, so we're going to solve the rotation problem in another way. So we know now that we're now moving. Let's try back to 100. Let's see how that works.
Nope.
100 is not enough.
And they're going back like this again.
Going, what do you mean?
They're
Upright, yeah. I went back to that problem. Let's try 1,000. Let's hit run. There we go.
Oh, now they just bounce off though. They don't actually like hit them and move.
All right, let's make them about 5 times faster. All right, let's see if we can figure that rotation too. I think, what can we do here? We create a new quaternion. And can we do it with X, Y, and Z? Perfect. I don't know what the W component is, but I'm going to say 0. Wait, no. I'm going to say 90 0, 0, whoops, 0, 0, and 0 for W. I don't know what the W is on that. But I'm assuming that if we go to our prototype block here, nope, sorry, prototype missile prototype. We've got the 90. Oh, and the Z is also taken by a 90. If we take this back to 0, oh yeah, the Z needs to be 92. 90 as well. Sorry, what do you want to say, Campbell?
Do you want to start a raid? Because I'm kind of getting a little...
Yeah, let's do that. Let's rotate the Y and the Z just like we're doing over here.
Whoa, wait, you have 4.
Yeah, there are 4 parameters right here. The W is the 4th parameter.
Why? Why are there multiple?
Why is W? That's just what it's called for. All right, we'll get a raid going. I want to do 2 small things that I think were going to be fun and easy. One is I wanted to just try this. It says all compiler errors. Got a problem here. Okay. Oh, look who's here.
Retro CRT.
Oh, I'm going to win the dance competition. Boom. All right. 2 things I want to do the fun things before we left. Can we run now? Look at that. Oh, look at that. That's awesome. Hold on. Okay, wait. Oh, it's not going the right way.
No, I think it's, Dad, I think it's because we're adding a force, but we're always adding a force in one direction.
But look at the rotation. We fixed the rotation problem.
Yeah.
All right, let's get the, can we fix the force so it's going the right way? What's going on with the force? This is the X, Y, and Z. Let's look at the transform of ourselves. Right? Is that right? The force, what direction? We need to, you're not in the rotation the same way you added the cube when you turn. You're not adding the force in the rotation, the same way you added to the cube when you turn. Look at this. That's what we need to do. See it, Campbell?
Yeah.
Use transform forward. Let's do that. Times 5,000? Like that?
Sure.
Remember the cube has force applied in the direction you're facing. Yeah, that's what's happening here. Right?
Wait,
and
who said that?
That's Surly said that. I'll pop that up on screen so you can see it. Remember the cube has force applied in the direction you're facing? Yeah, that's this line of code right here. Right? Transform forward. So here we're going to say transform forward, and I'm going to try times 5,000 and see if it works.
Okay.
Let's see if that works.
It should.
I hope so. Here we go. You ready?
Yeah. Yeah, they're working. It's going so fast it goes through the walls because they don't have time to like realize that it's...
You're right. I think 5,000 may be a little bit too much.
Yeah. Okay.
What do you think?
I like it.
You think 5,000 is too much?
Yeah, definitely. It's
All
going
right.
like...
Let's take it to 2,500 maybe.
Okay.
All right. 2,500.
Okay.
And let's see. Yeah, I like it better.
Much better.
And then they're bouncing off the walls, I think. They're not shooting through them anymore. Okay,
Yeah,
where
it
is it?
doesn't
Where
look
is it?
like
Where is
it.
it? Where is it? Where is it? I'm trying to just get
Yeah, they're staying in.
the other.
Oh, wait. We might want to... Did we add a slippery component to the walls?
Oh, because they're sticking on the walls?
No, they're just stopping. What if we added like a bounciness to the walls?
I love it. How do we do that?
If you go to project.
I'm on the left wall right now.
Yeah, but if you go to project first, first you have to go to project.
Right here?
Yes, there. And then right click it anywhere and then create physics material. It is, yeah, there. And then click it
Hold on, I'm going to call it bouncy.
Yeah.
Whoops. Okay, and then what do I do?
And then and then you can make the bounciness like, I think you can only make it 1.
Yeah,
but-
1. Then,
And then, wait, you can make the bounce combine, you can probably make it maximum, yeah.
all right,
So that it's just like, boinga,
and then drag that onto my left and right wall,
Yes.
I think.
Uh-huh. You got it.
All right, I think I did it. Let's see if that works.
Do, 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 do.
Yeah. I love it. That's perfect.
And then you can have them, like, you can shoot out a bunch in one direction so that they're just knocking all of the blocks down as they
I want to
appear.
give them more mass. Is
Oh.
what I want to do. So when they hit the blocks, well, I got to not fall off.
Can we...
Jesus. Game over. Okay,
Aw.
one more time.
Wait, can we start a raid?
What do you want to do?
Start a raid, I'm really hungry.
Say it again.
Can we start a raid? I am really hungry.
Oh, yeah, we can start a raid. Let's do that.
Okay, and then we'll work more next time.
Thanks so much, everybody, for hanging out with us. Glad you made it. Let me get a raid going here, Campbell. Uno momento. Pop back up over there. Want to see who's out there to raid. Last time we raided to Instafluff, but I don't see him. I'm going to send you over to Lana Lux. She does science and tech. We'll do that. TBD Gamer is doing something on his website. Certainly suggesting TBD Gamer. Hold on. Let's do that instead. So we'll do that. All right, kids.
Yes.
Have a good time over there at TBD Gamer, and we'll see you next Saturday. Good job, Campbell.
Thank you.
And thank
Good
you
job
for your
to
help.
you.
Oh, thank you very much. All right, bye, kids.
Goodbye.